Deep beneath the mountains of South Africa, there is a cave locals refuse to enter, not because of superstition, not because of legends, but because something lives there that was never supposed to exist. They call it the Grootslang, and according to legend, it predates humanity itself. This is Obscura Fabulae, stories buried by time, and the things that were never meant to be found. South Africa is a land of ancient stories, stories shaped by heat, stone, and distance, by mountains that cut the horizon in half, by deserts that seem endless, and by caves that stretch back further than written history. Most of these stories are not told loudly, they are not performed, they are not explained, they are told quietly, in fragments, often reluctantly, not to entertain, but to warn. The legend of the Grootslang is one of them. It does not come from books or movies. It was not invented for tourists. It comes from people who lived close to the land, people who understood when something did not belong. And what they described was not simply an animal. It was a mistake. The word Grootslang comes from the Afrikaans language. It translates simply to great snake or big snake, but the name barely scratches the surface. The legend originates in the Richtersveld, a remote region in South Africa's Northern Cape. This is not an easy place to reach, and once you are there, it is not a place that welcomes you. The Richtersveld is harsh. Temperatures swing violently between day and night. Water is scarce. Distances are deceptive. The land feels old, unforgiving, and deeply uninterested in human presence. Caves in this region are not shallow hollows. They are deep systems, twisting, collapsing, and disappearing into the earth without warning. Some have never been fully mapped, others are avoided entirely. And it is here, according to legend, that the Grootslang resides. Stories passed down through generations describe the Grootslang as a creature created at the dawn of time, before cities, before tools, before memory. The gods, it is said, wanted to create the ultimate being. They combined the brute strength of an elephant with the cunning, patience, and intelligence of a serpent. What they created was enormous, powerful, and far more intelligent than they ever intended. The Grootslang was not just strong, it was aware. The stories say the gods quickly realized their mistake. This creature could not be controlled, it could not be reasoned with, and it could not be allowed to roam the earth. So they destroyed them, all of them, except one. One Grootslang escaped destruction. It fled into the earth itself, vanishing into the deepest cave systems known to man, and it never came back out. Descriptions of the Grootslang have remained remarkably consistent across centuries. It is said to be massive, far larger than any snake or elephant known today. Its upper body resembles an elephant, thick skin, heavy tusks, a powerful trunk. Below that, its body becomes serpentine, dark, scaled, coiling endlessly through narrow tunnels. But the most unsettling detail is not its size, it is its eyes. Those who claim to have seen it do not describe the gaze of an animal. They describe something alert, aware, watching. The feeling, they say, is not that you are being hunted, but that you are being judged. Many stories involving the Grootslang do not begin with sightings. They begin with sensations, a heaviness in the air, a vibration through the rock, the sound of something massive shifting deep underground. Animals refusing to enter cave mouths, livestock panicking for no visible reason, dogs stopping abruptly and turning back. Those who ventured deeper spoke of smells, earthy, metallic, almost electrical, and the feeling that they were no longer alone. Some explorers returned shaken, silent, unable or unwilling to describe what they encountered. Many did not return at all. Their footprints ended abruptly, their equipment was found abandoned, their stories stopped. Over time, the story of the Grootslang changed. It stopped being told as a legend and started being treated as a rule. There were places people simply did not go, caves no one entered after sunset, routes that were avoided entirely, not because someone said they were forbidden, but because no one needed to explain why. In the Richtersveld, warnings were rarely spoken aloud. Children were told not to wander, without being told what would happen if they did. Hunters learned quickly when to turn back. Animals refused to go where humans hesitated. Questions were often met with silence, and in places like this, silence is not ignorance, it is experience. The absence of explanation does not mean there is nothing there. It often means there is something you are not meant to disturb. According to legend, the Grootslang hoards diamonds within its lair, not because it understands wealth, but because it is drawn to what sparkles in the darkness. This detail matters. Diamonds are not just symbols of greed. In the Richtersveld, they are real. For generations, people have risked everything for the chance to find them. Prospectors, hunters, desperate men. The legend does not say the Grootslang guards its hoard violently. It does not need to. Those who enter its domain do so willingly, and then rarely leave. Most legends blur over time. Details change, descriptions shift. The original meaning is lost. The Grootslang story did something different. It stayed consistent, across different communities, across generations, across centuries. People described the same creature, the same cave, the same sense of danger, even when they had nothing to gain by repeating the story, even when it kept them away from opportunity. That consistency is what makes the legend unsettling, because even if the Grootslang itself never existed, something did, something powerful enough to leave a permanent mark on cultural memory. There are rational explanations, of course. Some believe the Grootslang is a cultural memory of prehistoric megafauna, giant reptiles or creatures that once roamed southern Africa. Others suggest misidentification, a massive python, elephants near cave systems, stories merging over time. There's also the idea that the legend served as a warning, a way to keep people out of dangerous caves, filled with collapses, gases, and predators. All of these explanations make sense, until one question remains. Why a hybrid? Why not just a snake? Why not just an elephant? Why combine two of the most powerful symbols in the natural world? Hybrids in mythology are rarely accidents. They represent boundaries being crossed. The elephant, memory, strength, endurance. The serpent, knowledge, patience, danger. Together, they form something unnatural, something that does not belong. In many cultures, hybrids are warnings. They signal imbalance, a violation of natural order. The Grootslang is not a monster born of chaos. It is a reminder of what happens when creation goes too far. What makes the Grootslang truly unsettling is not what is said about it, it is what is not said. There are no official tourist trails, no playful debunking campaigns, no effort to turn the legend into spectacle. There is simply avoidance. Even today, there are caves in South Africa that remain unexplored, not because we lack technology, but because locals refuse to guide anyone there. And when they ask why, they do not laugh. They do not argue. They simply say, it is not safe. If the Grootslang never existed, why did so many people agree on exactly what it looked like? Why did the legend persist in places where disbelief offered no advantage? And why do some stories refuse to fade, even in the age of satellites and science? Perhaps the Grootslang was never meant to be proven. Perhaps it was never meant to be found. Some legends are stories, others are warnings, and some things are better left beneath the earth.